we can understand that the descriptive role of a determiner and an adjective is very similar, and we will study about the difference between a determiner and an adjective to the sort of the description, according to the definition of each descriptive word. The adjective, whose definition is various from an experience, a condition, or an action, can describe a subject or an object with more various and detailed dimensions of the description than a determiner, whose definition is about a condition of a subject or an object. A determiner specifies an object indicated by a noun or a pronoun in a way that distinguishes the object with the other object which the speaker wants to deal with in the clause for the listeners to identify the object. We can think that the speaker sets a range of the indication that is dealt with in the clause. We can understand that the role of the determiner is to set the range of the indication. There is a clause, every person is respected. The subject indicated by the general noun person is described by the determiner every. The definition of the determiner every is the description by the be verb is to reach to each subject indicated by the general noun person. For example, let's suppose that there are seven people indicated by the general noun person. Let's think of these person with number, specifically with the numerical note: person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, person 6, and person 7. The application of the determiner every makes the description by the be verb is applied to every subject from the person 1 to person 7 all together. The 7 subjects from the person 1 to person 7 have in common about the fact that the subjects are described by the be verb is. The description by the be verb for the 7 subjects makes the 7 subjects a group that shares a similarity. This similarity allows the listeners to focus on the fact that the subject is formed as a group. The subject as a group is described by the be verb is. The subject indicated by the general noun and described by the determiner every convinces us about the fact that the number of the subject is considered as 1. We can understand the reason why the speaker applies the form of the be verb is to describe the subject, every person. The determiner every describes the noun person to specify the range that the noun person indicates as the entire subject is set as a unit
or a group
that shares the same feature about being described by the be verb is. So the phrase of the noun every person is described by the be verb as the subject who is a non-participant in the conversation with the speaker. This description is about the reason why the speaker applies the form of the be verb is. The subject who participates in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners is indicated by the personal pronoun, but the speaker applies the general noun to indicate the subject as a whole. The listeners can understand that the reason why the speaker applies the form of the be verb is. An adjective specifies an object indicated by a noun or a pronoun with the description of the features that define what the noun or pronoun is for listeners to identify the object. There are two clauses for understanding the effect to apply the adjective cool for the material noun, water. Did you see the water? Did you see the cool water? The description by the adjective cool for the object indicated by the material noun water may make the listeners easy to identify which kind of water that the speaker intends to indicate.
in the conversation.
The adjective cool signifies an object dealt within the conversation among the object which is indicated by the noun water with the description about how the feature of the object indicated by the noun water is.
We can understand that the condition, according to the definition of the adjective cool, is applied to specify the range of the object indicated by the material noun water.
We can understand that the adjective and the determiner are applied to recognize the same object among the speaker and the listeners easily. And we can also understand that the application of the definite article the as a determiner
Applied
as a description for the object that is identified in the conversation. The speaker who applies the definite article the as a determiner may set the premise that the speaker and the listeners recognize the object in the conversation from the previous context.